This time, Islamic Secret will tell about the spiritual journey of an old woman who converted to Islam because of a student's underwear. This old woman worked as a laundry attendant in a student dormitory in England. Coming from a simple background and a life full of routine, this woman, who is familiarly called Bibi, experienced a deep transformation in her faith through her daily interactions with Muslim students in the dormitory. This story illustrates how a simple discovery about the cleanliness of a Muslim student's underwear became a turning point in his understanding and belief. This story is based on history published in the 15th edition of Al-Qawwam magazine from Badiah, Riyadh, which tells the real experience of Dr. Sholeh, a teacher at an Islamic college in Saudi who served in England. In this history, it is revealed how an old woman, a laundry attendant, was impressed by the cleanliness and discipline of the students, which ultimately led her on a deep spiritual journey. There is no attractive side to this woman. She is old, a lowly employee, and lives alone. Every time we meet him, he always brings a large plastic bag filled with dirty clothes. He has worked as a laundry worker for almost half his age. Luckily for him, there are still agencies that are willing to employ the elderly. I feel appreciated even though I am old. Besides, people like me have no one to take care of, if not themselves. My children are married and live with their respective families. My husband has died. Even though the children like to visit, I still want to have my own activities to fill my old age, he said. It's not for hard work, but at least, apart from increasing my income, it also fills my old age. Maybe that's better than having to stay in a nursing home. For the aunt, whose profession as a laundry worker actually makes her closer to the actions and ins and outs of the dormitory residents, most of whom are students from outside the UK. The aunt really understands the habits of the students who live in this dormitory. And one of the negative sides of social interactions, students are when they are near a bottle of alcohol. They get really drunk, and you can imagine the chaos that ensued. Vomiting all over the place, peeing in his pants, and so on. This is the stupidest thing humans have done since the creation of alcoholic drinks. Not only does it lose common sense, but the drunkard will also feel extremely tired and have a headache. When the dormitory residents were still dreaming because they were tired from clutting all night, just leave the aunt to pick up the dirty clothes every day. And sometimes it has to be carried from the room, long before they wake up from sleep. Then they are sorted carefully one by one based on the type of material, size, color, and more specifically, the underwear is separated from the others. This routine work was carried out with great dedication even though she was getting older. Time continued to pass, while her aunt continued to struggle with her dirty world without giving up. I don't know how long he will have to do that job. So one day the dormitory received new residents, namely several Muslim students from the Middle East who had received study assignments from their country. They have been registered to occupy one of the rooms in the dormitory where their aunt works. For most Middle Eastern students, it is very rare to choose to live in a dormitory. They usually buy houses or flats that have been adapted to accommodate small groups of students, couples, or families. There are also some individual landlords who allow their houses to be managed and rented out. Living in a hostel is a great way to meet new people and make lasting friendships. This is one of the reasons they choose to live in a hostel. It is this awareness that dispels concerns about culture shock. Living in a non-Muslim community, we are actually required to prove these high Islamic values as a solution for humanity. Of course, this is missionary work, which is the responsibility of every Muslim wherever they are. By continuing to maintain our privilege as Muslims, namely piety. As the days went by, it seemed that this aunt really cared about what she washed, to the point that he knows this is A's clothes, this is B's, and so on. This includes the students' dirty clothes from the Middle East. However, when she was sorting the underwear, the aunt felt something was unusual. Because of all the clothes she washed, only Arab Muslim clothes looked dirty, didn't smell, weren't dirty, and didn't have many stains on them. This rare incident further fueled Auntie's curiosity. Again, The clothes washer in this hostel always felt strange when washing their underwear. Unlike the others, their underwear always had no smell. This rare thing had never happened while she worked as a laundry officer before the arrival of students from the Middle East. So, still curious, the aunt finally decided to ask the owner of the underwear directly. That, when asked why. The two people answered, "We always do istinja every time we urinate." The clothes washer asked again, "Is that taught in your religion?" "Yes. Islam requires us to purify ourselves after urinating or defecating," answered the two Muslim students. Feeling not 100% sure about that answer, finally the aunt came to meet one of the Muslim figures, namely Dr. Sholeh, a lecturer at an Islamic college in Saudi. When he was assigned to England, this old woman told of her surprise while on duty regarding the existence of strange underwear. "There are some underwear that don't smell like most students in general. What's the reason?" So this Ustad said that because the owner is Muslim, our religion teaches us to purify ourselves after every urination or defecation, unlike those who do not pay attention to matters like this. How impressed this old lady would be if Islam paid attention to small things, let alone big things, thought the clothes washer. And not long after that he took the Shahada, converted to Islam through underwear. Unexpectedly, it turned out that the washerwoman had secretly converted to Islam, and the students living in the dormitory, most of whom were non-Muslims, were in an uproar. They tried to find out why Aunt converted to Islam. He answered confidently that he was very impressed with this Arab Muslim friend because of all the clothes he washed. His clothes were the only ones that looked like nothing else. And with the guidance of Allah Estatuti, he can differentiate between the clothes of a Muslim and a non-Muslim. Guidance can come at any time and to anyone. So far, perhaps we have heard more often about the conversion of non-Muslims to Islam due to extraordinary and important things. But this one is really unusual. Receiving guidance at the end of his life because of underwear. Truly God's destiny has truly coincided with his persistence in filling the remaining days of his life as a laundry worker. Herein lies the secret of God's great favor, which brings together his destiny and human endeavor. Indeed, Allah never wastes the charity of his servant. With deep humility, we would like to express our sincere thanks to you, our loyal viewers. Every time you take the time to watch our videos, it not only adds numbers to the viewer count, but also touches our hearts in an indescribable way. You give meaning to our work. Every like, comment, and video share is a small light that illuminates our journey. You have been an integral part of our story, and for that, we are truly grateful.